Most leaders, they are told the same thing. Delegate, trust your team, stay strategic. And most of the time that advice is absolutely right. But there is a dangerous moment in every complex project when strategic oversight quietly turns into operational negligence. And that firefighting part is that leaders rarely notice it until the project already drifts off course. From the leadership level, everything looks perfect, under control. Dashboards are green, weekly reports are clean, timelines appear intact. But dashboards, they only show reported progress. They rarely reveal the real friction underneath that work. What actually destroys major projects is not the chaos, it's the silence, stagnation. Integrations, for example, they start to slow down. Dependencies, they quietly piles up. Teams, they stop raising risks because they assume leadership already knows them and they cannot change the situation anyways. That's the worst situation you'll be in. And that silence is the first real warning sign. When a team starts believing escalation will not lead to any action, something subtle happens. They stop escalating. Status reports become polished. Problem gets softened. Roadblocks become work in progress. If you see too many work in progress and really not completed, time to watch for it. Everything appears stable on the surface, but underneath that calm surface, the system slowly grinds to a halt. Experienced leaders, they learn to recognize this moment not by watching reports, but by watching what? Patterns, trends, right? There are 3 signals I personally watch very closely. The first is progress without real deliverables. There is a lot of activity, but very little completion. The second is matrix that remains green for too long. In any real complex system, there is always friction. When everything looks perfect for weeks, something is usually being hidden. The third signal is rising coordination overhead. More meetings, more conversations, more discussions, but less actual movement. When these 3 patterns appear together, strategic monitoring is no longer enough. In that moment, leadership has to step in, not to micromanage people, but to remove friction from the system. This requires going deeper than dashboards and reports. Talk directly to your engineers, your team members, your folks. Trace the integration points if per se that's your problem. Challenge the assumptions behind the timelines. You're not replacing the team, you're unlocking the system. And what is interesting is that once that real constraint is exposed, momentum often regains quite quickly. Because most teams are not failing because of the incompetency. You know that. They're failing because one hidden bottleneck is blocking everything else. Good leaders knows when to stay strategic, but elite leaders understand when exactly that moment is when they must step in. So next time, everything looks calm on the surface, ask yourself a simple question. Is the project truly moving forward? Or has the system simply learned how to hide its problems? Because by the time the dashboard finally turns red, the damage has usually already been done. Thank you for listening. You stay tuned and bye for now.